Hi and welcome to video number 5 in my Premium Age website case study. In today's video we're going to look at the topic of keyword research, particularly using free methods to find them low competition keywords to get this website off to a great start. So let's get into this. Hi and welcome back to the channel again. My name's Carl, I'm a UK affiliate marketer, and in this video series I'm building out a website using a premium age domain. So that's a website that has been previously used in the same topic or niche that I'm going into, and we're going to use this domain to hopefully give ourselves a little bit of a boost in the rankings from day one. Now it's a bit of an experiment because it's not something I've done before. Typically, I've built my website portfolio out of brand new domains, started at step 1 and took it all the way through the various steps of building these websites until eventually they get traffic and start making some money. However, a company reached out to me called ODYS, ODYS, and they asked if I'd ever built a website using an age domain. Now, this is not an expired domain, this is an age domain that has been previously used in the gardening niche. So it's called gardeniaorganic.com, and it's a very established domain that's been around for many years, and it's been previously used by a flower and garden shop, and it's definitely within the niche that I'm in. And it's now also got some authority. So over the years it's picked up all them backlinks and all that authority within the same topic that we're going to use. So will this premium age domain from ODYS work? Will it be quicker than building one from scratch? That's exactly what this case study is all about. So in previous videos we've purchased a domain, we've added hosting, we've set up the theme, and now we're on to our keyword research. Now I'm going to do a few videos on keyword research, and in this video I'm going to focus on the free methods you can use. Now some of the methods I use are very basic and very simple, and anybody can do them. And if you're building a niche website you've probably come across some of these methods, but they are often some of the easiest ways to find keywords. Now in video 6 I am going to show you some tools that you can also use, because the biggest thing about keyword research for me often is not so much finding the keywords themselves, but it's the topics within the niche that you're in that I often struggle with. So gardening, for instance, what topics do you start with gardening? There are so many to choose from. Garden wildlife, plant varieties, growing methods, vegetables, composting, seeding. There are so many different topics within the niche of gardening. So sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming which actual topic you start with. And that can be where the paid tools actually do come into their own, because you can clearly define the actual roles within a niche and find low competition keywords within them topics. So often if you're not 100% certain on the niche that you're going in, let's say you're not a gardening expert, it might be difficult to find all them sub niches and topics that are relevant to your overall niche. So that's often where the paid tools can really help. But in today's video, free keyword research, I'm going to jump onto the computer now. I'm going to show you a few methods that I use and some free tools that you can use also to give you an idea. If you've come across a little bit of a brick wall and you're struggling to find any keywords, these free tools may certainly help you. So let's head over to the computer now and let's do video 5 in this premium age website case study, keyword research. Okay, so this is the website we're going to be working on. This is the new aged domain website, and it's gardeniaorganic.com. If you want to go check it out, feel free. There's not a lot of content on there at the moment, but you can see we have some of the categories set up ready. So we have the overall gardening tips, which is going to include indoor plants, outdoor plants, plant problems, etc., etc. Lawn care, wildlife, garden tools, and hydroponics and aquaponics. Now, these are some of the main categories that we're going to be looking for keywords within. Now, as I say, gardening is a huge niche and it has probably hundreds of subcategories. So these ones here are what I call subcategories, and you could probably find hundreds within gardening. But we are going to narrow it down to somewhat, and then we're not just spraying content everywhere over every single topic within gardening. We are going to narrow it down into, as you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 subtopics, plus this one, 8, 9, 10. So kind of 10 to 11 actual topics. So these are the ones we're going to look for some keywords within now. So like I said, there are some very basic methods, but I do actually use a couple of tools. Now these are free tools, so don't panic. I'm not going to get you to subscribe or pay for anything. And the two tools I use, the first one is this one. So it's Keywords Everywhere. Now this is a paid tool, but it's peanuts. It's really cheap. So there you go, look, $10 for 100,000 credits. I think I paid $50 for 500,000 credits, and it's lasted me a year or something, so it's ridiculously cheap. So this tool I use to get a prediction on the search volume. So if I show you here, you can see, if I just zoom in, you can see this one will show you the actual search volume predictions. Now they're not very accurate, but it does give you a little bit of a guideline whether people are searching these keywords. After all, that you want to find keywords that people are actually searching. One of the biggest issues I find that is people often write articles that they think people are searching for, and they spend a lot of time, money and effort writing them articles, but in reality, nobody's ever going to read them. Nobody will find them, nobody will read them because it's just not been searched. Now you can see here, this one gives you an example. Keywords Everywhere is their keyword, and you can see it has a search volume of 18,000. So that's each month at least 18,000 people are searching for that. And you can search by region, so you can see how many people in the US or how many people in the UK, but it gives you an idea. So if you was going to write an article about keywords everywhere, you can guarantee there is a lot of people searching for that keyword. Also means there's a lot of competition as well. But you can see that tool is what I use to give me a rough idea. Now with search volume, I'm quite happy in this case study to actually go after 0 search volume. So that's keywords that tools like this think there are not enough data to actually record. So that means if I type in a keyword and it says, nope, 0 returns, nobody's searching for that, actually there usually are, but people are not searching it enough for these tools to pick it up. Now when I say enough, that can actually still be, that can often be several hundred page views per month, but the tools don't pick up on that and they don't register it in their results, but they can often be very, very good. Now, a really good video on this, Sean Mars has done a video on 0 keyword results, and he's done a test and he shows you some of the results. I will leave a link either on the screen or in the description. Go check that video out. He explains it probably much better than I can, and he has some great results from 0 keyword results. So I'm going to go after a few of these, so don't be surprised in this experiment and demonstration here if we find some keywords that you think, wait a minute, there's nobody searching for that. Why is he choosing that? Because in reality, it probably will be easier to rank for and still pick up a few hundred searches per month. Now, I'm happy to spend $20 or $30 writing an article if it brings in 150 to 200 searches per month every month for years to come. That is a great investment and a great return on your time and financial investment. So the second tool I'm going to use is one called Mozbar. So it's the Mozbar Chrome extension. Now this is free. You do need to set up an account, but it is actually free. And what it looks like here, this is their description of what it looks like. You can see here it will show you the page authority. So that's usually an indication of how many backlinks are pointing to an individual page on a website. And then it will show you the DA, so the domain authority. Again, that is usually how many unique referring links are pointing back to the overall domain, basically the home page. And that's how you can tell the difference between how many links are pointing to a home page and how many links are pointing to an article. Now, I take more notice of the page authority, because if you're going after a particular keyword that somebody else is going after, it's more important how many links they have pointing to that individual article, which in reality is what you're competing against. You're not competing against the home page that might have thousands of links. As you can see here, look, there's 3,857 links and 59 referring domains pointing to this home page. You're more interested, or I'm more interested in how many links are pointing to the keyword and the article that I'm targeting. So those are the two tools I use: Mozbar, free Chrome extension, and Keywords Everywhere. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to narrow down some of your topics where you can search keywords, because it can be overwhelming. So, in the garden niche, where do you start? You can't just go to Google and type gardening and then filter down and filter down and filter down. It's going to take you forever in such a large niche. I mean, you can do that in smaller topics and smaller niches, but for something like gardening, we need to narrow it down. So in today's video, I'm going to have a look at herb growing, lawn care, wildlife, and garden storage, because these are some of the areas that I'm going to build out some what I call keyword hit lists, which is a spreadsheet of keywords that we're going to go after. Now, I'm going to show you my keyword hit list now. I have been researching a lot of these. Obviously, I've been preparing for this case study for many months, so I have been putting a keyword hit list together. Let me just show you that now. I may have to blank some of the details out on here, obviously, because this is my livelihood and these are real keywords that I'm going after. But let me show you how I document and keep track of all the keywords that we're going to find. And then we'll go into actually finding a brand new list. Okay, so here is my keyword hit list, and you can see I've been doing a lot of work. So there are dozens and dozens and dozens of topics on here, all relevant to gardening and all relevant to separate individual niches or subtopics within the category. So that might be, as we've said, soil, it might be lawn care, it might be indoor plants, outdoor plants, etc. So there are lots of keywords on here. Now, these have all been manually searched using the free method. Now, these are all pretty much ready to go. They're ready to assign to my writers, which I'll cover in another video, and also ready to outsource. So I will be using my own writers. I will be writing some content myself, and I'll also be outsourcing to various companies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test some of the companies that's out there. So we will issue some of these keyword hit lists to various different companies that you've probably heard of, and we'll see how good their content really is. And again, it'll be an honest description. I will literally order the articles, upload them, and you can take a look yourself, and then you can judge whether it's worth outsourcing some of your content. So that's my spreadsheet. This is the kind of thing we're going to build out. So let me just go over to a blank sheet and we'll start work. So this is what my blank spreadsheet looks like, and it's just a very simple way of keeping track of it. And I usually extend it the further I go. So if I get 25 keywords, 50 keywords, 100, I just keep extending it. Or I will make an individual spreadsheet for each subtopic. So I might have 25 keywords on this hit list for lawn care, and then I might have another spreadsheet that has 25 keywords for wildlife. So we'll fill this one out today. I'll only do a few and just give you some examples of how it's going to look. So let's get over to Google and let's start searching. So one of the easiest ways of starting to do some free keyword research is to use what they call the Google alphabet soup method. Now, I know a lot of you have probably seen that, but for those of you who haven't, basically what you do is you start off with your main keywords. So here, lawn care, as you can see, it gets 1,700 visitors per month. That's probably more likely to be a heck of a lot more than that. But like I say, these tools just give you a rough idea. So you can start your search by simply doing lawn care, and then you can add a prefix. So when is lawn care, click search, and then when you hit the space bar here, and then once you've typed that in, you can see some of the predictions start coming up. So when to start lawn care gets 40 searches. So we can click that. And we can see here, yep, 40 searches, when to start lawn care, and you can start seeing some of the results here. This is a tab called People Also Ask. So when somebody has typed in when to start lawn care, somebody has also typed when should you start, when should I start my lawn after winter, when should you start your lawn in spring, should you rake your lawn in spring. So you can see all these wonderful ideas are starting to pop up for free, and these are all being generated by Google itself. And you can start narrowing some of these searches down. So just to give you a typical result here, so when to start lawn care. So you can see here the Moz bar is saying that this website here has a page authority of 34, 32 links, and it is a DA of 38. So it means it's got more links pointing to the homepage than it does the actual individual page. So what I would do then is I would see if any of the results are actually answering this search query. So you're asking when to start lawn care. So this website here, Lawn Care Calendar, sounds like it is going to actually answer because it's a calendar about lawn care. So I'm sure it's going to give you tables and charts and time schedules for when you should start. Here, this next website, again, DA40, 4 links pointing to this, and it's got a March 2021 lawn diary. So again, when to start, lawn diary, it's probably relevant. And then we look through and you can see we have another one here. This is the RHS website, a huge authority. Some video results which are becoming more and more prominent, and lawn care calendar again. So these are all pretty relevant results and they're all pretty strong authorities. So when to start lawn care is probably not an article I would go for because it's a little bit too competitive. So we need to find something less competitive. Now to show you a good example, I've got one here that I found. Is lawn care the same as landscaping? And if we search that, you can see here that it's bringing back a 0 search result. And you can see some of the competition on here is less authoritative. So you can see here, so AA Lawns has a DA of 18. It does have 4 backlinks pointing to this article, and that's why the page authority is higher. So page authority is 24. So it looks like those 4 links are quite relevant because it's created a stronger page authority than the domain authority. And knowing the difference between landscaping and lawn care, it is relevant to the search query. The next one is this one here, greengoldlandscaping.com. And again, a DA authority of 22 and a page authority of 28. So again, 9 authoritative links pointing to this article. And the article, what is the difference between lawn care, again, is relevant. So with these ones here, it's a DA of 18, we have a DA of 22, a DA of 15, and then we go on to Quora. So initially, and there's another one there, 31, 22, another one here, 8. So initially, my thoughts are this actually looks reasonable to go for. Now, obviously, the lower the DA on the top 10 results, so the top 10 results on page 1 of Google, the lower the domain authority for the websites that are ranking, usually the easier it is to go for. However, there are a few things you need to also consider. You need to consider the quality of the content that's ranking. You also need to judge the relevancy with the content that's actually ranking. So is this topic relevant to the search query? Then you could even drill down and go, how powerful are the 4 backlinks that this website has for this article? You can look at that. Then you also need to take into consideration your authority. So remember, this is a premium age domain that I've got, and it already starts with a pretty decent authority. So it's got an authority of around 30 plus. So an authority of 30 plus with an article that's written better than this number 1 slot or this number 2 or this number 3 should outrank them in theory. And again, it depends on many factors, and it's very difficult sometimes to actually say, yep, my DA is 30, I'll write a better article than this, I'll beat this DA 18. But like I say, their 4 links could be very powerful and you could still struggle to do that. So there are a lot of things you need to consider. So ideally, we'd be looking for a result of DA 18, but with 0 backlinks, and then DA 22, we'd be looking for something less than that, and again, with 0 backlinks if possible. So for instance, the one further down here, the difference between lawn care and landscaping is a DA of 8 and it has 0 backlinks. So if we click this article here, and we can see it's a very short article. That's probably around 500 or 600 words. So I would consider that if that was higher up in the SERPs, let's say it's position 1, 2 or 3, that is very vulnerable. It's a very low DA, has 0 backlinks, and it's got a very short article. So that's the kind of results you are looking for in the top 1, 2 or 3 positions. Now, to give you a guideline, often I just look at 2 low domains under a DA of around 20 or a page authority lower than 20. If they're in the top 3 positions and the articles are not huge 5 or 10,000 word articles, you can often beat that, and that should be usually a good starting point to look for. So again, like I say, DA 18, DA 22, DA 15, DA 22, DA 8, I would certainly consider this, and this would be one that I would look into further. And what I would do is, let's check this. Let's have a look at the quality of this content. So it's from a relevant website, it's all about lawn care, but it's very short. Look at that. I mean, it's about 500 words. So that content is definitely beatable. Now, for me, it would just depend on this factor up here. Look, these 4 backlinks. Where are they from? How powerful are those backlinks? How relevant are they? So I would check that before possibly going into this. But yeah, this is one that I'm going to add to the spreadsheet right now. So my main keyword here would be lawn care versus landscaping. And the actual title is going to be, is lawn care the same as landscaping? Now you can create something catchy. Often I see people doing things like 2-minute answer. That's a popular one that's showing up at the minute. If you think you're going to get the full answer in 3 minutes, you might click on that. You could also write something like 3 main differences. So you're looking to create an SEO focused title. That is there. Lawn care the same as landscaping. That includes our keyword. So you can often bold that. So there you go. That is the main keyword. But then you need something catchy so your content stands out from the rest. If we jump back to the search, you can see here which one of these actually stands out to you. So knowing the difference between landscaping and lawn care, it's a bit of a boring title. What is the difference between lawn care and landscaping? It's very simple. Here's a good example. Lawn care versus landscaping. What's the difference? So that's catchy. That I would probably click that over that one. Let's see if any others stands out. See, they're all doing what's the difference? What's the difference? What's the difference? What's the difference? So I'd want to create something a little bit more catchy. So here, is lawn care the same as landscaping? 3 main differences. So that is different to what everybody else is going after. You can see here it's 60 characters. It is an informational post. It doesn't need to be a long article, so I would do a response one on this. I would look at the average word count on the top 3 pages and come to a decision what I need to write to beat that. Going on what we've seen, probably 1,000 words is going to beat that. If you want to really make sure, let's do 1,500 words and we'll probably smash the competition. And remember, it said it was a 0 search volume, but I pretty much guarantee that is going to be getting a few hundred searches per month. Now, another tool you can use, which is free, is this one here with a very unusual name. And this is a great little tool that you can use to quickly find or give you some ideas. So you're doing that alphabet soup method, can lawn care, and you can see here, can lawn care workers still work? Can lawn care companies work? Can lawn care companies work in Ontario? So you could even expand that. Can lawn care be good? Or does lawn care, so does lawn care, there we go, does Sunday lawn care work? Okay, so gets 210 searches apparently, that one. Does lawn care cost? 20 searches a month. Does organic lawn care work? So that's actually pretty good. So let's have a look at that one. So this is obviously people taking care of their gardens and their lawns organically. So it has a search volume of 10, so people are definitely searching that. Let's have a look at that specific word. So organic lawn care program. Again, it's a DA18. That's a low authority site. 0 backlinks. And it's not really answering that search query, is it? So that's a good start. No chemicals needed. Organic lawn care tips. So it's definitely going to cover does organic lawn care work. But look at that. DA13, a very weak site with 0 backlinks. Again, 26, so slightly stronger authority site, 6 backlinks, so that's going to be tougher to beat. But again, pros and cons of organic lawn care. Does it answer that? Yeah, it does. In a roundabout way, it certainly does. This one, how to treat your lawn organically. That is DA75, but that for me is not answering that search query there. It's not too specific. So that probably you could beat. And then DA22, DA29, DA22. So there's a lot of DA20s in here. But look at this, DA18 and DA13 ranking first. If we just open this, let's have a look at the quality of this content. And it's not great, is it? It's not meant. There's probably only 1,000 words maximum on there. And does it actually cover the search query that we looked at? It does in a roundabout way. It's not spot on. I think that is actually beatable. So we're looking at a D of 18 with 0 backlinks and it's poor content as well. So that's beatable. Let's have a look at this one. So Joe's Lawn Care. Okay, so it's got a little bit more content on this one. But again, it's not much. It's probably about 1,000 words. And it's not specific as well, is it? It's not really targeting. Yeah, so again, that's got 0 backlinks, DA13 with poor content. I'd actually go for this one. I think this one is, I know it has 10 search volume, but I would probably have a look further into this one. So let's add that to the list. So the main keyword is going to be organic lawn care. And again, let's put that title in there. So, does organic lawn care work? And again, you need to catch the viewer's eye when they're scrolling through the SERPs. So, does organic lawn care work? So these ones are off the top of my head. 7 reasons why it does work. There you go. I mean, sometimes these can be a little bit irrelevant because Google is kind of putting their own titles in now. It's swapping and changing titles. So often you might put this title in and Google says, nope, I don't like that. And it drops this part of the SEO title, the H1 title. So don't worry too much about these. But I do think if you can get the entire title to show up, that is probably more clickable than some of these results here. So organic lawn care program. Don't entice me to click it. No chemicals needed. That's not too bad. Pros and cons. Yeah, not too bad. How to treat your garden organically. We can beat that. What is organic lawn care? Could probably create something catchier than that. Organic lawn. So again, we can create something a little bit more catchy. I do like this one. No chemicals needed. That jumps out to me. But I'm sure we can create something a little bit better in your title. Again, it's under 60 characters. It's an information post. It's, I'd say this is, you need a probably decent length article on this. Again, I would judge the word count on each article in the top 3 places. But, I'm going to do a provisional 2,000 words for this. And it had a 10 search volume per month. So there we go. We've got 2 on our list already. Let's have a look at a few more. So like I say, if you get stuck for some of these topics, you can go to tools like this. So another tool you can use, which is free, is called Answer the Public. And this will basically spew out a load of keywords for you. So you need to put something relevant in here. So I'm going to do herb growing. And then if you click search, it will start to bring up this lovely kind of graph that is all questions that have been searched or topics around herb growing that people have been looking for in Google. So we just give that a moment to populate. And there you go. You can see this graph here, and it shows you the how, the when, the where, etc. Now, there is an easy way to view that. It's quite difficult to view. Simply click data here, and it puts it into some lovely little boxes. So R is going to obviously prefix, so are herb growing slow? Can I plant growing herbs from the supermarket? How to keep growing herbs? What herb growing, etc. You get the idea. And it also gives you some of the search volumes, and again, lots of 0 search volumes here, lots of 0 search volumes here. So you can see here, how to keep herbs growing has a search volume of 20. Like I said, probably more than that. How to keep herbs growing indoors, 10 search volume. How to start growing herbs is 30. Now, what you want to do is you want to also put these through Google. You don't just want to take this and grab that and copy and paste it and put it in your hit list. You need to actually use this just as an idea. So let's get some ideas from here. So can you plant living herbs from a supermarket? Let's just copy that. Let's put it into Google and see what it comes up with. So again, it's saying 0 search volume, and the top result is this one here, is the best way to transplant supermarket living herbs. That's definitely going to cover the topic. You can see some more suggestions. Can you plant supermarket living herbs? Can you replant supermarket living herbs? So there are a lot of people searching for relevant questions similar to this. So that is a good indication there is some search volume. How to divide supermarket herbs? That's not really answering that. That's, if I had typed how to divide a supermarket herbs into multiple pots, that might be more relevant. And here's another one, how to keep supermarket herbs alive with a DA23. So there are searches coming up from this. My initial impression, 55, 61, 23, 93, 55. The domain authority on these is very strong for a 0 search keyword, so I would not be using this. So let's have a look for some more. So we could narrow this down even more to a single herb. So I've put parsley in here. If we search parsley, This is really drilling down and narrowing down. And this is where you will find the lower competition keywords, but also obviously the traffic is going to be less from, but they're going to be easier to rank. So again, it's come up with the results. Let's choose data and let's have a look. So are parsley stems edible? That's a really good one. 110 search volume for that. That's interesting. Let's just have a quick look at that one. So here we go. So keywords everywhere. Yeah, it confirms it has 110 search volume. So we have a DA 66, page authority 37. So the page authority is weaker than the overall domain. And that's how to chop parsley. Okay, so how is that relevant to that? I haven't asked how to chop parsley. So often this is what you'll find. So that is vulnerable to me because we can supply Google and the viewer with a more targeted response to this question. So that's vulnerable. Let's have a look. And another one here, really authoritative site. Do you have to destem herbs? How is that relevant to that? So again, we might be onto a winner here. Why you should never throw away parsley. Again, not relevant whatsoever. How to use parsley stems. Yeah, okay, we're into that. So that one's okay. So that one's probably relevant. DA84, lots of backlinks. And then we're into Quora. Again, parsley, again, it's not relevant to the search query. So although a lot of these sites on here have very strong authority, many of them are not relevant to the search query, particularly the number one. The number two, do you have to destem herbs? And we're on about stems, so yeah, I can see that one, but it's not really answering the search query. So I would really consider this one. Now, like I say, it's got 110 search volume, and you may have to put a little bit of effort into the quality of content you write. So this is probably the competition for this article. But look at the competition. It's weak. This is very, very poor. It's about 200 words. So although that is the most powerful website that's ranking for this keyword, its content is poor. So do you know what? I'm going to add this one. I think this is worth going for. So the keyword is going to be parsley stems edibles and the title. So again, create something. I'm not going to do it now because otherwise it gets a bit boring for you, but are parsley stems edible? And then you would want to create something in here to make it stand out from the rest. So I'll do that at a later date. Again, it's an information. It is a response post. We're answering a question. Looking at the competition so far, we may only need to do 1,000 keywords, and it's 110 monthly searches. So there we go. We have 3 on our hit list already. So you can see how Answer the Public can really benefit you. Like I say, there are loads on here. Look, why parsley leaves turn yellow, why parsley is not good for pregnant women, who sells parsley and stage clothing, which parsley is best for cooking. So there are lots of things on here that we can go after. And like I say, don't just use any of them. Make sure you put them into Google and do your analysis, your competition or competitor analysis. Now, another tool that I use quite a lot is Ubersuggest. So it's Neil Patel's tool and it's called Ubersuggest. Now, I use the free version. You can get the paid version, but I just use the free version. It gives you a limited amount of searches each week or each day, but I use it pretty much every single day. And what you would do is you would use this to do some competition analysis. So I have a few websites here that I found. This one, which is a DA26, this one, a DA34, and this one, DA20. Now, I wouldn't use this tool to do some competition analysis on, let's say, the Spruce website, which is a massive authority. There's no point looking for weak content on those sites because they're often, even their weakest is going to be very hard to beat. But if you can find a DA like this one, DA26, and this one, DA20, often they will have some articles that are performing well, but are pretty weak. It's because they haven't the DA authority or the page authority to actually keep that keyword secure and safe in the SERP rankings. So often I will run something like this website. Now I do apologize. I hope this is none of my viewers' websites, but I have to do a demonstration, so I've got to choose one website. And I would simply put it into Ubersuggest, click search, and see what it brings back. Now what it'll do is it'll give you some ideas of the traffic, which we're not really bothered about. What I want to do is I want to have a look at these so you can see the top pages. So you can see it brings up some results here. Now, if you look on the left-hand side here, you can see top pages by traffic. Again, enter the URL, select the country, so it's the US, click search, and it brings you up a few more. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 results, and these are their top performing articles on this website. Now, the first thing I would do with this, I look at the backlinks. I'm looking for 0 backlinks. So their main article here, are black spots on broccoli stems safe to eat, gets an estimated 694 searches. Now, that's organic searches, not social searches. So, and it's often out. This number is often incorrect. So I would probably think that they are getting more like 1,000, maybe 1,200 visitors a month from this one article. However, they have 4 backlinks on this article here, and you can view them here. And this one is 387, that's their second most popular article, but again, it's got a couple of backlinks. And you can see the third article has 10 links. So they are gaining some backlinks, whether they're paid or natural, they are gaining some backlinks. So these are going to be a little bit tricky to go after, even though it's only a DA20. So let me show you a different example. So again, I'm just going to paste the URL, click search, and you can see here we've got some more results. Now, the top article here, which gets them, wow, a whopping, that's going to be 10,000 page views a month from that one article. No wonder it's got 146 backlinks. However, look at this one here. How to tell the difference between pothos and philodendron. I don't know how you pronounce that.
Philodendron. Philodendron.
But it's getting 3,000 searches, so probably more like 5,000 searches, and it's got 1 backlink securing that article. So that, to me, is possibly a weak link. Let's have a look at some more. How to plant and grow Brussels sprouts. Gets 800 visitors a month, and it only has 2 backlinks. So you can see here, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Very weak backlinking profiles. No searches on Facebook, no searches on Pinterest. They have no Facebook, no Pinterest campaigns running on these. So some of these ones with 1 backlinks are pretty weak. So I'd want to look into that. So if you click here, it takes you over to the website, and we can see it has a page authority of 17, which is weak because it only has 1 link pointing to this page, whereas the homepage has 26 authority. And let's have a look at the article itself. So it's a fun-packed website by the look of this. Lots of information, lots of images. So although the word count on this isn't huge, you can see there it's only about 1,000 words. They have some really good images, but again, the word count is less. So if we could produce a bigger word count, put some better images on here, get 1 or 2 links pointing to this, I think this is beatable. So that's how, using Ubersuggest, you can check out the competition. Let's just do one more. Let's have a look at this one. So again, page authority 17, 1 backlink to this article. Let's have a look at the content. This is quite an in-depth one. This has more information than the last one. Beautiful imagery. It looks like a genuine article. So this one, in my opinion, is going to be a little bit more tricky to beat. Beautiful imagery. Yeah, I think this one's going to be really, really hard to beat. So we could just have a look in the search results. If you wanted to just do a Google search on this, we can scroll down and have a look. They haven't got the number 1 spot. There you go. So they've got the number 2 spot on Google search. And look at that. It says it gets 0 search volume per month. But we can actually see this article gets over 743 searches a month. So that's where these 0 search volume keywords can be really lucrative. So you can see a few methods there that might help you find some of these low competition keywords. Like I say, it is a skill, and some of the best ways to do it are just to keep drilling down. And finally, I'll just show you this one last example that I've just found. So how to grow cauliflowers, and look at all these lovely search results here. So how to grow cauliflowers from scraps, how to grow cauliflowers in pots. Majority of these have got search volume here. How to grow cauliflower from seeds. I found this one here, how to grow cauliflower from scraps, 90 searches a month. If I click it, let's have a look at the search results. This is your holy grail. This is what you are chasing. And you can see here a DA8, a very weak site with one link pointing to the page. So the page authority is 15 because of that one link. Yes, it answers the search query, but my website has got a DA of 30, so we should be able to outrank that. Second is a DA 17, 0 backlinks. Third is a DA of 16 with 2 links. And then we go on to the YouTube videos, which luckily the YouTube videos are below the top 3 search results. Often, if these are in the top 3 results, stay away from it. You're not going to beat it. But luckily, 1, 2, 3 weak websites for this keyword with a good amount of search volume and found just using the simple method by using the Google alphabet. Again, like I say, you could try more, but that is a perfect one. So that is one that is definitely going on my hit list, and we could look at some of the others. So from scraps and in a pot are 2 totally different. Let's look at that one and see. So growing cauliflower in containers, so that is relevant, but it has a huge domain authority with links. And then we go into the YouTube search widgets, and then we have another DA 51, 93, 30. So this one that we've just found is nowhere near as good as this one, because this one has one very weak site ranking number 1. So there you have it. That's how I do some very basic keyword research, which anybody can do. And I emphasis on anybody can do. It's not rocket science. It is not a magical mystery process. It's a very simple process. It is time consuming, and you do need to spend time building them keyword hit lists out until you've got at least 25 to 30 keywords that you should go after first on your website. Often then what I will do is I will leave it a month or 2 and just see which keywords are actually indexing, which are ranking, and what topics within your niche Google is liking. What does it see you as a bit more of an authority about? So if I'm talking about seeding or vegetables, which one did it actually rank first? Which ranked the best? Which ranked fastest? And maybe that's then an area which I can focus on for the next 25 keywords. So that's how I do it. I generally do a broad overview. So for this website, I may publish around 100 articles and then leave it for a month or 2 and see which ones index first. And then we can jump on that and ride that wave, because Google is showing you some love and you need to repay it by doing more articles in that topic. So thanks for joining me. I hope you're enjoying this case study. If you are, there is a full playlist in the description. You can simply subscribe to the channel, click that little bell icon and follow the whole process along. We're going to do everything right through to monetizing, seeing the traffic, watching it grow, hopefully watching it grow, and seeing if a premium age domain really can speed up the process and give you a faster return on your investment, both time and money. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you in video number 6, where we'll do keyword research again, but we'll use some paid tools. So thanks for joining me. See you soon.